Hey guys, gwyned here, doing a standard Pauper Deck-Tech using a black-green Morbid deck. Playing a couple of matches out in the practice room. Won the first match, and here we go on the second match. So, like I mentioned in the first video, I wasn't able to record the audio when I was playing them, so I had to go back and do replays, but I think these are still instructive and helpful, so I hope you enjoy watching. So let's take a look now at my opener here. Got a one-lander, but there's a lot I can play off this one-lander. The two Fume Spitters, the Tragic Slip. If I draw into a green, I'm in really good shape. This would be a very greedy keep, but that is in fact what I do. My opponent also mulliganed down to 6, so I decide to keep my greed here, and we'll see what happens. So he is playing a Mountain turn 1. Could be a lot of different things. A Kuldotha. Some kind of Kuldotha deck is the most likely suspect. Miss on my first draw here, but we'll play out the Swamp and a Fume Spitter, which my opponent immediately kills with a Geist Flame. And then he also apparently kept a one-lander, passes it back. I don't have anything that I still miss on a land again, but I do have the Fume Spitter I can play out, and I will pass the turn back. So apparently we're both greedy, and he kills it immediately with a shock. That is just fine. So he finds a second land, and I miss a third time, which is unfortunate. So now I'm being punished for my greed. But on my next he plays nothing. I do manage to find a forest. I'm going to play out the Young Wolf, which is really great against his removal, and he has a mana leak. All right, so now I know what he's playing. He's pretty much playing a counterburn deck, probably with Delvers. This is an archetype that I was very interested in testing. Haven't actually had a chance to test that. I actually like this one a little better, but I think it is certainly potent, as he is demonstrating. Alright, so back on his turn, he does in fact have the Delver. Here I will go ahead, I think, and Tragic Slip it into turn. Go ahead and kill it off. See if he does in fact have the mana leak here. So I've gotten 2 of the mana leaks out of his hand. And here I can just go ahead and Doomblade the Delver. Back on his turn, he has a second Delver, and again is leaving mana up to counter. I'll go ahead and throw next Doomblade on it, which she's not able to counter. So 2 Delvers down, he just passes the turn back. Find a third land, which I think will be helpful here. Play out the Perilous Mirror, I think is the play here. And I will leave up the green for Hunger of the Hell Pack. Allows me to trade with that exact card with Geist Flame. So here it's an interesting choice. So I go ahead and put the counter on it. Playing 1 green to get a +1/+1 counter that's permanent actually isn't a bad deal. So I will go ahead and do that. Negates his Geist Flame, protects him from Geist Flame next turn. Doesn't protect him from shock. So if he's got a shock next turn, he'll still die. But it's a 1-for-1. And I think I'm fine with that trade. It's not like I'm doing anything else with it. He does in fact have the shock, and Perilous Mirror goes down. But hey, I get some good value out of shocking him. So he just goes ahead, otherwise passes the turn back. I've got a Viridian Emissary. Again, I will... I tried to leave out Hunger of the Hell Pack. Obviously, I can't. But I will get a land out of that if he wants to destroy it. He just passes the turn back again. Now I'm starting to get somewhere here. Got 4 lands, swinging with the Emissary. And obviously here, going to go ahead and play out the Gravedigger. Even if he kills it immediately, I'll get pretty good value out of it. Going to go ahead and grab the Fume Spitter, simply because it's the best enabler for my Hunger of the Hell Pack. And he'll go ahead and immediately kill off the Gravedigger, and I'll return the Fume Spitter to hand. So here he has a Curse, but at this point I don't think I'll have any trouble racing that. Draw yet another Hunger of the Hell Pack. Play out the Fume Spitter, swing in with the Emissary. So here could Altar's Reap on the Emissary, and then Hunger up the Fume Spitter, but I don't think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm just going to hold my tricks for the moment and see what he wants to do. So on his turn, he does nothing. I take another point of damage, and now I'm just drawing land. So let's see if we can cut that out, draw the forest, swing in with my 2 guys, see if he's got a burn or anything he wants to use. He does not. And here, I could easily activate the Haunted Fengraf, but I just decide again I'm going to leave my tricks up. He has a Think Twice, finds a 4th land, but still doesn't really have much to do. Can now Geist Flame my guys, and so that's certainly something worth keeping in mind here. Go ahead and continue to swing in. No burn from him. I will play out the Emissary here. Pass the turn back, and now I've got a lot of different things I can do. If he decides to Geist Flame, we'll take up his whole turn, and I will be able to Altar's Reap the guy that he targets, which is exactly what I will do. Hopefully I do that differently. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and use the 2 black mana to Altar's Reap him, and then I get value out of the Hunger of the Hell Pack as well. So I will draw my 2 cards, plus get the land, plus now be able to hunger up the Emissary. So definitely a very nice little sequence there for me while he's tapped out. And now I immediately get to swing back in for 6 here. Looked at this, I could have sacrificed this to itself or use the Altar's Reap on it and then hunger. Let's see, I'm pretty sure I saw that play. In fact, he's tapped out. Yeah, so I do see the play. So here I will Altar's Reap my own guy, and then I can hunger up the Fume Spitter and swing in for lethal. So that is definitely a great demonstration of how this Morbid deck works, how the different tricks can interact. I think it's particularly good against a burn deck or a deck with a lot of removal because it lets you kind of blank their removal and do really nice tricks. Obviously got greedy keeping the 1-lander. My opponent also seemed to be greedy. Not sure what he had left in his hand, probably a lot of burn. But yeah, that was game 1. I'll be back in just a minute for game 2.